Despite consistent effort and practice, many players find themselves stuck in a cycle of minimal improvement. This period of no improvement must be frustrating, especially when others seem to progress effortlessly. I myself have had weeks of time where I feel like I haven't improved that one bit, so I know what it's like. In this video, I'll be breaking down the hidden reasons on why you aren't improving at Fortnite that pros don't want you to know. Odds are you'll never see his channel again, so if you're interested in improving and getting your first earnings, make sure you finish the entire video and help me reach my goal of being a full-time content creator because all support is very much appreciated. Alright, now without further ado, the number one reason why most people feel like they aren't improving is because of their setup. Now, let me be brutally honest, first things first is that if you're on 60 or 30 FPS, you should really, if you want to go pro, you need to either buy a next-gen console or you just quit the game, if I'm being so straight up. I know it's the harsh truth, but you cannot go pro on 60 or 30 FPS because I know myself, I played on 60 FPS for years and I tried to go pro and it didn't work out, so I just bought a PS5. It's not possible to go pro on anything under 120 FPS. Now, another thing I want to say is that if you do end up buying a 240 FPS 0 ping setup, that's not going to automatically make you good. You gotta still understand there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, and also I feel like a lot of people have that misconception that if they were to be on 0 ping or if they did have a PC with 240 frames, that they will already become crazy. But the truth is that also for most pros is that they were already good before they bought the PC setup, but it's just that when they got the set, they were able to perform even better. Now, don't get what I'm saying twisted. I'm not saying to not buy a PC or anything like that, but because those type of stuff are essential if you want to go pro. However, what I am saying is that if you're not already good without it, odds are you won't be that good with it. So you still want to make sure you are good without the PC setup or without the new keyboard or new mouse or anything like that. You want to make sure you're really good without it, and then when you do end up getting it, you become even better. Alright, now the next reason why you may feel like you're not improving is because you're not learning from your mistakes. Now, let's take any type of player. Let's say, for example, let's take Booga, right? Say if he's in a solo victory cascade game and he ends up dying randomly in 20 minutes into the match, why does he die? He's gonna look back into his game, he's gonna VOD review and see exactly what he did wrong. Say, for example, he might see in the end game where he ran out of mats, so he didn't go for a refresh. That's the mistake that he's gonna end up fixing. You know, these are things that pros are doing that average players are not typically doing. You know, if you want to get better, you have to look at your mistakes. You're not just gonna sit back and say, oh well, that's what most people are doing. They're just like, they die and they're just not doing anything about it. You have to see what you're doing wrong, and then you have to implement it into the future games on how to fix the issue. So again, if you die in end game and you see that you need to go for a refresh and you don't go for a refresh, you have to go for one. You know, it's that simple. You just have to just clip your games, go back and replays or something, and see exactly what you did wrong, and then learn from it going forward. By the way, if I am talking weird, it's because I'm actually very tight right now because I recorded this entire video and the whole video just got corrupted. So I have to redo the video. So yeah. But that brings me to my next tip though, is that one reason why you may feel like you're not improving at the game is because you're switching your teammates too often. So say for example, right, a dual casket comes up, you should not be switching your teammate after every single dual casket, but instead what you should be finding a teammate and sticking with them. You know, Ice for me and my teammate, we've been playing for over a year now, and at first when we started playing together, it was terrible. We felt like the chemistry was not clicking or anything like that, but after months and months, we've gotten better placements and things like that, and we are by all means not pros, we're nowhere near there yet, but my point is, we stuck together instead of splitting up after every single event, and that really helped us as a team, because chemistry is one of the most important things that a team can have. If you don't have chemistry with your teammate, I guarantee you guys will not do good. So even if your teammate isn't the greatest, I really do recommend sticking with them and learning and growing as you guys are playing with each other. You know, learning different stuff and things like that, because it's absolutely essential to stick with your teammate if you want to go pro. Don't be splitting up with your teammate after every single event. You know, if you guys want to do a cast up with maybe a random from my Discord server, you should probably ask them, oh hey, you want to run the next one, and then go from there. If you guys do good, you guys can stick. You know, I really do recommend instead of just looking for a teammate for every single different tournament, you guys instead stick with a teammate and then grow with them as you guys play. Alright, now that brings me to my next tip, is that you gotta stop caring how you look and instead just focus on getting the job done. And what I mean by that is, I'm actually very, very guilty of this myself, but it's that when you say for example, you're in creative and you're trying to look flashy, trying to look very mechy, instead of actually getting the job done. Because this is so important, because even take pros for example, you might think that the pros are trying to look good, but no, that's just how they naturally play. They're not playing to get brownie points, they're not playing to look good for the stream, they're not doing that. What they're doing, they're just playing normally, they're just trying to get the job done. And the reason why they might look flashy is because they're just naturally good. So what I'm saying is to focus on how you actually play, focus on like getting the job done, and focus on actually getting better rather than trying to look better than you actually are. There's no point in trying to put on a front acting like you're better than you actually are for the people spectating you. That's just so dumb. And I'm actually very guilty of that myself. I tend to try looking over edity or over confident or over flashy than I truly actually am, which is actually a very bad habit. So yeah. That's gonna bring me to my next reason on why you guys may feel like you're not improving, and this is for you guys to be practicing your strengths rather than practicing your weaknesses. So I can probably guarantee you that every single person watching this video, when they get on, they free build, they do 1v1s, they do things like that. They're practicing their strengths over their weaknesses. How many times can you guys count that you guys have did aim training? No, that's something like so like minuscule that no one ever does, but it's so important. Your aim is so important in the game, but no one ever practices it. Why? Because it's boring. I understand that it's boring, but I myself had to realize to myself that I need to stop just 1v1ing all the time, and I need to stop free building because you need to be practicing your weaknesses over your strengths. Let's get like an NBA player, for example, right? Let's say, for example, LeBron. I'm just making this up, right? But say if LeBron was bad at shooting, he's going to be practicing his shooting to get better, rather than practicing his ball handling and his dribbling and everything like that. He's not going to be practicing his dribbling, which is what he's already good at. Instead, he's going to be practicing his shooting, because that's what he needs to work on. So it's very, very important that you guys practice your weaknesses. And say, for example, you have bad aim. You want to be in aim training 24/7, rather than being free building all the time. Now I'm not saying to not still practice your strengths. It's very important to practice your strengths, but it's also even more important to practice what you're bad at. That will turn you from an average player to a pro. Please trust me, bro. Practice your strengths. That's the strengths. Practice your weaknesses rather than always practicing your strengths. Alright, now this next thing I want to say is that you guys want to make sure you are not getting low quality practice. So what I mean by that is, by low quality practice, I mean don't be 1v1 bad players, don't play with bad players. If you guys ever see the opportunity to play with somebody that's better than you, always take it. That's literally a hidden gem. Always try to 1v1 someone who's better than you, always try to play with somebody who's better than you, because when you're playing them, you learn so much more rather than playing someone who's worse than you. Now again, with the NBA example, you're not going to see LeBron practicing for an NBA game by versing little kids. He's not going to be doing that. Why? Because he's not going to learn from that. They're not gonna catch him off guard. It's easy. So my point is that make sure you guys are getting high quality practice, because when you're playing against somebody, you want to make sure the person that you're playing against is better than you or on your level. Because when you always fight bad players, it will not help you. You will not learn from anything. So you guys want to always make sure you guys are practicing against people who are better than you, or at least try to get the best type of practice. And also that also brings me to say that when you guys are inside of Discord servers or scrims, you want to play the best possible servers that you possibly can. You don't want to just play on any server that you can play at. You want to make sure you guys are playing in the best servers that are out there. So say for example, you're not going to see Booga playing NA Open, because those scrims are way too easy for him. You want to challenge yourself. You want to make sure you guys are playing in the highest possible practice that you guys can actually play. So yeah. Now last but not least, it's very important that you guys understand this, and it's that you guys do not care enough. I can guarantee you, whoever watching this video truly wants to go pro and truly wants to, with all their heart, really does want to become a pro, they will do it. Why? Because it's in your power. You have the free will to become a pro. But if you have not did it already, it's because you just didn't care enough. You just don't care enough. Now, I'm guilty of this myself. I find myself having to log back in because I tend to start slacking and things like that on my gameplay. But I've realized time to time that I just don't care enough. So you want to make sure, if you really do want to go pro, you just log in and just focus, and you have to care more, because the reason why you're not a pro right now is because you just don't care enough. Now, if you don't want to be a pro, that's totally fine, but for those of you watching this video that are taking it seriously, I can guarantee you that you want to be a pro. However, you must understand this, is that the difference between a loser and a winner is just what they do, their habits. Winners and losers, shockingly enough, they have the same goals. A winner has a goal to do good, and a loser has a goal to do good. They both have the same goals, but the only thing separating them is their habits. So it's this simple. Just focus on your habits and focus on caring enough. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on just locking in with the game, and focus on just doing what it takes to get better and to become a pro. Now, again, by all means, if you don't care enough, that's totally fine. You know, you don't have to become a pro. It's not for everybody. It's not for there's a reason why not many players are pros. Is because it's really just not for everybody. So if you don't want to be a pro, that's totally fine. But if you do want to become and get to the top and things like that, I really do recommend you gotta just dial in and lock in and focus up, because odds are the reason why you're not a pro right now is because you simply just do not care enough. Now, that's the wrap of this video. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm very upset because I did this entire video and all of it got deleted. So that's why I was kind of like talking weird and talking fast, bro. Cause like I had this whole thing. I'm just like, I recorded this entire video. But yeah, though. Yeah. If you're new around here, drop a like and subscribe. I'm trying to start posting daily again because school just, my school ended like a few weeks ago. So I'm trying to like lock in my YouTube because I've been slacking recently. But I'm gonna start posting daily from this point on because it's summertime. I gotta grind. If you're new around here, drop a like and subscribe. It really does mean the world to me. I read all comments, so go ahead and drop a comment if you have any questions or anything like that. And yeah, I really do appreciate all the support. Thank y'all for everything. I love y'all, and peace.
Okay, I got a
Yeah, I'm holding.
Five medkit.
They're gonna jump on us.
Hold.
I can't.
Playing whites, I'm playing whites.
Yeah, same. I'm playing medkits. I have two. I'm just gonna play it.
Yeah, white, build.
Here. I might die. I'm again.
Dead.
Nice with him. You're so good, bro.
Let's go, baby.